Good morning. Welcome back to the Hyatt Regency right here in Hoover, Alabama, right outside of the metropolis of the Magic City in Birmingham. I'm James Verrett for the Gulf South Conference 2023 Football Media Day. We are joined now by the Valdosta State Blazers, head coach Tremaine Jackson, and also Isaiah Flowers. We want to thank you for joining us. And first of all, Coach, last year you brought the DOG, discipline, obedience, and grit. And during the season last year, you had to bring the ISO in spite of. Last year was a little rough.
Yeah.
Could you bring me through how you had to work through last season, and what do you plan on doing to bring back Titletown to Valdosta?
Yeah, well, first of all, we're glad to be here. We always know that this time means we're close, and so we're really excited to be here. But we did. I really don't remember a lot of last year. We talk about in our program that we do remember Lot's wife, and we don't look back at what happened. But in spite of came about because we don't care about the situation. We don't care about where we're playing, who we're playing. We just care about how we're playing. And in spite of we throw a pick, we got to go out and play defense. We miss it, we drop a pass, we still got to come back. So in spite of what happens, we still got to show up, and that's the new mentality. We were so used to doing things our way, and football has changed. So we had to change with it, and we're really excited about this year.
5-6, 2-5 in the conference. Your quarterback no longer has any eligibility. A lot of people in the Gulf South and a lot of fans want to know, do you have a new quarterback, and who are the players that'll be involved in that selection?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't know because we have a lot of new guys on our roster and on our team. What I do know is I like the way that this team has come together. This is our team. No more do we have to hear about what somebody did before. We don't know what anybody's done. We've taken the pictures off the wall in our program because we want our guys that are on our team now to put pictures up on the wall. So it's a brand new mentality in Titletown. It's a brand new mentality in our program, and I look forward to seeing how it plays out.
All right, Isaiah Flowers, last year you weren't able to be a part of the team, and as Coach said, a brand new mentality. It seems as though you had a brand new mentality in your journey to come back to the squad.
Yes, sir, it was. It was many hard days, even harder nights, but the main thing with me is to have perseverance and to not only to never give up, but to, also give back to the people who've put so much time into me. With me being lazy over those course of the years, it made me feel like I was disrespecting people. So I had to, light a fire under my own tail and get on my own high horse and do it for myself so that way I can make everybody else proud.
You had some days where you had to look in the mirror and try to figure out what it was that you were about as far as a college athlete and a student athlete?
Yes, sir. Plenty of days, plenty of days. I used to just always look back at when I first got here versus to my point now, and it's just so much growth, and I feel like everybody else should experience that. Like, it's going to be hard. You're going to have those days where you're saying, oh, I don't think this is for me, but a couple minutes later, you're going to be like, man, nah, I'm talking crazy. This is what I really want to do. So once you sit down and take the time to really understand, like, your true purpose, you're going to go after it 110%.
Coach, it seems as though he may have a mentality that you want to see from all of your athletes, particularly your defense, because they took a beating last year. What can we expect to see from your defense?
Yeah, I think that mentality that Isaiah has right now is what our team has. And so we expect that to go over to both sides of the ball. And in the third phase that nobody really talks about, special teams. Defensively, if you look back, Valdosta State hadn't been very good on defense since 2012. It's just we've been outscoring people. Now we had to get some stops, and we couldn't get them. And so I feel like now we can run. I feel like we're bigger. And when you're slow and small, that's a bad combination in this conference. I feel like now we match what the rest of the conference is. But, again, we got to see it. We got to see it. This league is the toughest league in all of Division II. We know that. We understand that. We want to compete right in that. And so these guys, they do have that mentality that Isaiah has. I look forward to the defense being able to answer the bell.
Valdosta is a very warm and loving community. They love their football, and when their football is not well, they're not well. How hard was it to walk around town during the off season, or did you see the community rally around you?
Yeah, it wasn't hard for me very at all. We came up with Keep the Faith when we got in there, and people think that that's just something fancy we came up. We came up with it because I looked at the books and saw what was coming back, and I knew we wanted to have some faith. But some things we've done, we've got more community service hours than this program has ever had. We've got the highest semester GPA in 42 years of football. Man, we're really proud of that. And so those things weren't there. We were winning games, but we didn't have a complete program, and I'm not ashamed to say that. Now I feel like we've got a complete program going. And our third step is just to go out on the field in the fall and do it. And so we're really excited about it. Guys are itching, wish we reported today, and just so we can get out there with each other. These guys are really, really bought into what we're doing and all the way around. They're truly student athletes, not just guys that go out and win games on Saturday.
When you look at it on paper, are you going to need your defense to lead you early, or do you think your offense, regardless who's at quarterback, are going to be able to lead this team early on?
We're going to need everybody. We're gonna need our fans to do better on third down. We're gonna need everybody, from the lady that sells concessions to the lady that cleans our building to the person that scores the touchdowns. We're gonna need everybody. Football nowadays is an all hands on deck thing. You can't just get away with it with a couple of guys on the field, and that's what program is. And so we have a program. I can't stress that enough. What we're doing right now is program, and so we're gonna need everybody, but definitely we're gonna need everybody who touches that grass to show up in a special way.
Isaiah, how happy will you be when you can finally put on the uniform again and step out on the field for real?
Really, actually, going to speak louder than words. Like, I really don't have any words for it. I'm just really grateful that Coach Jack gave me the opportunity, because I came in and I told him the truth about everything, and he was just like, hey, I'm going to give you a shot, but you're the only person that can really blow that shot. So, like I said, I looked in the mirror and I said, this is what I really want to do. So just being able to just put the pads on and, play with my brothers is the only thing I'm really focused on right now.
When you came in from high school, you were Player of the Year. You had games where you had over 400 yards rushing. You were a 1,000-yard rusher. Is that still in you? Have you been thinking about that, working on that, and have you added some new wrinkles to your game?
Yeah, I've added a lot of new wrinkles to my game, but my main focus is really to just get the team to gel and get the chemistry. So right now I've been working on, the chemistry with my O-line. Like, they'll joke around with me, like, hey, bro, if you don't get 1,000 yards, but we're going to beat you up. So I have to get 1,000 yards or even more. So, yeah, that is my mentality.
I hear you. Coach, when you look at this squad, Valdosta historically has been a haven for transfers. Mm-hmm. But it seems as though this year you went with a lot of signees and you didn't go into the transfer portal as deep as you could have gone.
Yeah, we really believe in development. And whether you transfer in or you come in from high school, it's our job as coaches to develop you. We did have some guys that played as true freshmen last year that made some plays. And so it let us know that our high school recruiting, it was headed in the right direction, because we had those guys with just a week of recruiting come in and contribute major minutes. We had a freshman linebacker that started 9 games for us, freshman receiver that started 8 games for us. And so we're really excited about that development. But where we lie, in South Georgia and Florida, all the bordering states, we don't have to just major in transfers. Now, our community's got to give us time for those guys to grow up, and so we understand that. But we want to make sure that we develop a base of our program so that we're never in the situation that we were in a year ago. And that's probably the only thing I'll say about a year ago. We were in a situation where there was no class of 2020. And so just didn't have to be because of COVID and things of that nature. We don't ever want to be in that situation. We want to have a foundation where the program is perennial and not spotty.
I hear you. When you look at what you got accomplished in the spring, were you pleased with the way those young guys showed maturity going from year one in the system to going into year 2?
Very, very pleased with our spring. I think our spring really showed us a lot that we can play. We did bring in 33 guys in the spring to help us on defense and certain areas on offense. And so to see those guys buy in, there was a lot of concern with our administration about bringing in that many guys and if they were going to do well academically. Well, you bring in those guys and they not only do well, but the team has the highest GPA in program history, then you kind of go, okay, we're on the right direction. Because at other places that does go bad. But it lets me know that our team is bought into our dog mentality. We are disciplined, we are obedient, and we do have a lot of grit. And so I keep saying excited. I want to close my jacket up and go play because we really are excited about where we are. And a week from today, man, we're going to put it all together and get going.
What aspect of the team are you most excited about and will surprise the fans a little bit as far as their development from last year to this year?
Yeah, I'm excited about everybody, but the defense in general. It's the first time in 2 years that they've had the same system going into the season and that they practice with in the spring. A lot of people don't know that. And so the continuity of being in the system, We didn't change the system. It's our system. We feel like we have the pieces now for the system. And so I think people will be surprised at the way we fly around and play defense. I think people will also be surprised that we're still going to get in the box at the end of the end zone. You know what I mean? The offense still going to move. Guys like Isaiah and offensive linemen that we brought, we fully expect to score a lot of points too. And when you lose a quarterback like what we had, people kind of have that question. That's fair. That's fair, but I think people will be surprised at the way we go about our business, still scoring points and then being able to get those stops.
This is year 2 for you. Year 1 was last season, going through the gauntlet, which is the Gulf South. Was it everything that you thought it would be, or was it that plus some?
Yeah, no, it was. I'm from the South, and I've seen a lot of football. I'm from Texas, where they think we invented football. So, but it was, and that's why I can stand here and firmly say that the Gulf South Conference is the best in Division II. I've been around Division II, and the league is well coached. I think 5 of the top 12 offenses, including our own, were top 12 in the country. And so it's an offensive-heavy league, and you got to be ready to go. There's no homecomings in our league. You don't want to play people for homecoming in our league. There's no breathers. And so we understand that, and that's why we came. We wouldn't want it any other way. We're here for that. We're going to walk into it with our chest proud, and we're going to be ready to fight when we get there.
Let's take a look at the schedule, and it is a formidable schedule for 2023. You play Point, then you got to go to Albany State, which is always a powerhouse game. Kaiser, North Greenville, at Shawan, new member of the conference, Delta State, at Mississippi College, Shorter, at West Florida, at West Alabama, and then you're going to wrap up at West Georgia. When you look at the schedule, what part of it is the toughest? What's the part of it that's going to really test the mettle of your team?
The first part. The first game. When you play in NAIA school, you don't know what they have. And they can get some guys in school that are not eligible anywhere else. Correct. I've been in the NAIA deal. And so I remember we walked out there against Kaiser, and I'm looking at a guy that had gotten the draft, got out the draft, played in the All-Star game, now he's playing at Kaiser. I mean, it's just one of those deals.
Right.
So every game. But, you can't look at our schedule and go, man, if we just get through September, it ain't that. It's every day, because even when you're not playing an opponent that people think you shouldn't have to compete against, when those people come to town, they want to beat Valdosta State. If there's one thing I learned a year ago, is how much people have not beat Valdosta State. So when they did, they celebrate. I saw cigars. It was a regular season game. I see jokers smoking cigars. And so we understand that now. And we take a lot of pride in that. They tried to tear down our goalpost one week we played a team. I mean, it's one of those deals. And so we are who we say we are. We're going to be able to answer that bell. But we do understand who we play against and what our schedule is like.
All right, Coach Jackson, thank you so very much.
You.
Good luck to you. Isaiah, good luck to you. The
Thank
Blazers at Valdosta State. Stay tuned. We'll have more of the Gulf South Conference 2023 Football Media Day live from the Hyatt Regency in Hoover, Alabama, right here on Flow Sports.
Go Blazers.